All right, so this is my last stop. I am here in Temple Square. The temple is under renovation construction work. My understanding is it's been told that it's being fixed for earthquake proofing, that sort of thing. And I'm just standing here. I'm standing here next to the statue of the Pushcart family, and it says that people who, I guess, came from Iowa and who couldn't have a wagon and that they walked. And, I notice here this whole weekend really has been a focus on children, and so I'm looking at the mother, and then there's a young child in the cart, and then there's an older child in the back of the cart. And, I think that's really the focus these days, is what's going to happen with the children. What's going to happen with the children when they put them on, wrapped in wearable technology, and do projects for competency badges and good behavior, and who in the world gets to decide what the good behavior is in the world that they're building. And I did sort of say a prayer that to the Creator, that we can come together around that, people from all faiths, from all different cultural backgrounds, and stand in that and understand that where we are now is built on a legacy of dispossession. That none of us sort of, we're here, we were born in this time, and it's built on a long history, and the history is about a lot of wealth and power accrued from harming families, right? From harming certain people's families. And on that history of slavery and indigenous erasure, really. And I was coming out of the corner here, and the light posts actually have an indigenous profile and a headdress, right? And so I do think that in this moment, it is this opportunity to have like a reckoning with that past, right? And who, not in just a performative way, not in a let's have equity on a dashboard, but really if we're going to step into right relationship in this moment of, this feels like the big test, right? Feels like really the big test for all of us is, where are we going to stand? And I think that we should be able to stand for all the children and all of the future generations and all the other beings. So, just in looking at the Pushcart folks, and actually, I know a couple people who have this heritage, and the profile is very similar for the two people that I know, and both of whom are trying to, we're all kind of trying to come to grips with that, and what is our responsibility to, in this current time, do the right thing. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna just head on to the airport. I've had a lot of visits here. Saw a lot of things. The people here have been incredibly generous and loving, and I've had people saying good intentions for me, that this message hits the mark, that the message that I have is accessible, and that people, even though I'm kind of like a fire hose on this stuff, and it's not easy, it's not an easy language to learn, the language of biocapitalism and impact investing, and it's not easy to separate out the false language and the word spells. And there's a loud truck here. None of that is easy, but here, I'll just show you. This is, so this is the history, right? So this is the right outside the wall, the temple square. So the past isn't really past, it's still really right here. Just think of Charisse and on the floor with no water and a Chromebook, and what do we do about that? How do we stay where we are and try to disentangle from these larger systems? And I'm crossing the street. Don't want to get hit by a car on the way to the airport. Anyway, this is the work, right? We look up from the sandwiches, we look around, we look at the corporate centers, and we see them for what they are, and they might be somebody's 6-figure salary or 5-figure salary, but I think in some ways they're stealing our souls. And as Google sort of starts to replace government. And, again, I'm not a nationalist, but this idea that our autonomy, that we should have agency in our lives and we should have agency in our communities and what happens. And this isn't something that should be defined by data analytics and predictive profiling and nudges, whether we know them or not. It's all part of this conversation, and it's very much a part of Salt Lake City. So again, I guess I will sign off until I'm back on the East Coast. But, I just want to say thank you so much to Carolina and Big Ocean Women and my friend who extended the invitation after just listening to my conversation with Sarah G and looking up blockchain and then diving in, because that's what it's going to take. People who aren't afraid to look, and that we need each other, and that we'll find, I think if we work from a heart space and we try to do our best to be good human beings and do the work, that we'll find each other, and we are finding each other, and I'm grateful for that. That's been a tremendous gift. So I love you all, and signing off from Salt Lake City.